All right, today we're going to talk about a really powerful idea, a metaphor that can totally change how you think about self-worth. It's called the Table of Confidence, and it's all about building a kind of resilience that can handle pretty much anything life decides to throw at you. So, let's dive in.
Have you ever felt that? A relationship ends, or maybe you lose a job, and suddenly your whole world just feels like it's crumbling? It's an awful feeling, right? And it points to a really common, and honestly, a really fragile way that we tend to build our sense of self.
And that feeling, that's what we're going to call the confidence trap. It's this pattern that so many of us fall into, usually without even realizing it, and it's what sets us up for that exact feeling of total collapse. Just think about it for a second. You start a new job and bam, your entire identity becomes the person who's amazing at this role. Or you get into a new relationship, and all of a sudden, all your happiness, all your validation starts flowing from that one single person. And look, it feels incredible at first, but it's also unbelievably risky.
So, the big question is, how do you escape this trap? Well, the answer is to build something much, much stronger. And that's what we're calling your table of confidence. Seriously, this one idea is a total game changer.
And this right here is definition. It completely reframes what confidence even is. It's not about having one spectacular, impressive thing to show off. Nope. True, deep confidence is about having a stable foundation, one that's supported by a bunch of different pillars. That way, if you lose any single one, the whole thing doesn't come crashing down.
And this is a perfect picture of what that stable foundation looks like. Just imagine your self-worth is this tabletop. A healthy one, a strong one, is held up by these four solid legs. You've got your friends, those real connections. You've got hobbies, the stuff you do just for you because you love it. You have your work or your sense of purpose, and you've got your family. See, it's balanced, it's sturdy.
But here's the thing. What happens when we forget to take care of this structure? This is where the story gets a little dramatic, and honestly, you might just see a little bit of yourself in what happens next.
So along comes something new and shiny. For this example, let's say it's an exciting new relationship. It feels like the strongest, most amazing support you could ever imagine, and almost immediately, all of your focus, all of your weight shifts right onto it.
And then, without even meaning to, the self-sabotage starts. All our free time suddenly goes into this new relationship. Our friends, they kind of become an afterthought. We don't even realize we're taking a saw to that crucial leg of our table.
And what's next to go? Our hobbies. That pottery class, the Sunday morning run, they all get pushed aside. Oh, I just don't have time for that anymore, we tell ourselves. And just like that, another leg is gone. The table is starting to wobble.
And now, look at this. Our entire sense of who we are is just teetering on one or two legs, the new relationship and maybe work. We've put ourselves in an incredibly vulnerable, dangerously unstable position.
So, what do you think happens when that one new relationship leg gets kicked out from under you? When the one thing you've staked everything on suddenly fails? Crash. The whole table just collapses. And that is why it feels like you've lost everything, because, in a way, you kind of let everything else go.
But listen, this isn't the end of the story, because from that wreckage you can build something so much stronger. This is where we get into what the source material calls FU confidence. Now, it's not aggressive, it's not about being angry. It's about being so fundamentally, unshakably solid in who you are.
And the mantra for this whole rebuilding process is simple, but it's really profound. Don't chase, build. Stop chasing after external validation, that new person, that shiny job title, and start building your internal foundation.
The real work starts with you. It looks like this, like picking up that paintbrush again. It's about consciously, deliberately putting time and energy back into the legs of your table, the things that make you you.
So, what are your legs going to be? The key here is to start with small, actual steps. For friendships, maybe it's not some vague goal like call my friends more. Maybe it's schedule one coffee or one phone call with one friend this week. For your hobbies, maybe it's just picking up that guitar for 15 minutes. For your health, a 20-minute walk 3 times this week. The point is, you choose the small step, and then you build.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? How do you know when you finally built this new kind of confidence? Well, there's a kind of ultimate litmus test. I want you to picture this. You're back on your own sturdy table. You've done the work. You feel solid. You feel whole. Then, some external source of validation shows up. An attractive person, a tempting job offer, whatever. But this time, something's different. You're not desperate for it. You don't need it. You're already stable. And this chart just lays out the difference perfectly. Fragile confidence is always seeking, always needing, always chasing. But this FU confidence, it builds. It comes from an internal foundation. It doesn't need anyone or anything else to feel whole. It's already whole on its own.
And so, when that external validation comes knocking, you now have the power to simply say no. And not out of anger, not out of arrogance, but from a quiet place of strength, because you genuinely don't need it. Your table is already stable. You're good.
And really, that's what this all comes down to. This quiet internal strength. It's that deep down knowing that you have built a life so full, so supported by so many different pillars, that no single person or event has the power to knock you over.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. Take a look at your own life, at your own table of confidence. Which leg needs a little bit of attention? Which pillar are you going to choose to strengthen this week? Because the building, it can start right now.